All right, so this video covers how to use our course handbook. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you. So how you get to the course handbook is in our main Schoology page. At the top of the page under important course information, there's a link to the handbook here. It is a living document, which means that it is ever changing, and you should not save a copy for yourself because that copy may be out of date next week. So the process journal is all the assignments that you'll be completing through the semester. I have 9 planned for us in addition to a final project. You'll also have small group meetings. Anything in teal in the process journal is for my evaluation, and anything yellow should be completed by you. The handbook, which is what we're looking at now, is a tool to help you complete assignments in this course, and it should be open every day. So you're going to go to that and open it and use this as needed. So the first thing we'll look at is the syllabus, and I'll just touch on some brief points, and then you'll have the opportunity to read through it a little bit more thoroughly later as needed. So there's my basic information as well as my code of conduct and the participation and communication guidelines. So every day is a new day in this class. There's no judgment here. Life and art is about learning from your mistakes and doing better the next time around. So just keep in communication with me. There's no direct participation points in this class, but you will have small groups, and then your process journal will show whether you participated or not. These are the aims of the MYP arts courses according to IB, and here's my attendance policy. One thing that I want to stress about the attendance policy is that you should not just tell me if you're going to be absent. You need to actually have your parents call the Huron office and report your absence if you have a dentist appointment or whatever. If you're having issues with your internet, that's different. Just try to email me when you can. But for those of you who have a planned absence that needs to be taken care of through the school, do not email me and expect that that is enough. I will still mark you unverified. Our policy here is if the student is not in the classroom, they're unverified. Whatever's happening, I will mark you unverified until I know where you are, and then I will gladly change it, and that will be erased from your record. So here's my grading for the semester. Like I said, we have 9 total assignments. Some of them are silly and easy, and then it gets harder as we go. That's why the first 4 of them are just 25 points, because we're just going to kind of be playing around with things and doing different journal assignments. And then we'll start to get a little bit more serious as we go. You'll have small groups to meet with during those, and each quarter, those will be worth 100 points for 200 total. And then your final reflection is also worth 50 points. So it's weighted pretty lightly. I want you, the main focus is on the studio production and the small groups. For technical support, here's the information that you need. And I do have the Spanish help desk on there as well. For this class, we have a mandatory field trip. It is to the store, the Scrap Box in Ann Arbor. So basically, if we were having a regular class, I would take us on a field trip, and then I would give you all a budget of $5 and to spend on your projects for your final project, which is trash art. You already know what that's going to be. Which is making things out of things that you've already bought or had. The cool thing about Scrap Box is they're a community-driven store. So they are operated by 2 co-directors, and they will gladly, help you find cool things. And the store is great. Everything is super cheap, and it's fun to see what you can get for $5. So you've got some options. You can go to the store and pick out $5 worth of materials, then go to the register and tell them that you're part of my class, and they will check you off the list and you can go on your way. Your second option, if you don't feel comfortable walking around the store for a long period of time, I can pre-make a random $5 fun package for you. They'll set it aside for you and you can pick it up at your convenience. So if that's your option, you'll have to set that up with me. You won't be able to just go and do it. I have to know how many students need me to pre-pack things for them. Your third option, if you have a problem with the first 2 options, is we can explore a third option together. So you'll have to let me know if number 1 or number 2 don't work for you, and then we will work together to come up with the best solution. So this is mandatory. That means you've got to get these materials one way or another. So I have $5 of cool scrap materials for you to use for the class. We'll talk a little bit more about this in class as well, but I wanted to put that out there. You have until April 23rd to take this field trip. You can also go over $5, but anything from beyond $5, that I've only given you $5 to use. Anything beyond that, you'll have to use your own money. So these are my digital expectations. Log into class and we'll start right on time. So we'll always do 5-minute mindful moment when the class starts from 10:25 to 10:30. There will be artwork up on the screen as I'm letting students in and answering questions, etc. You will be looking at artwork. Camera on if you're able. I really, especially in mixed media, I know a lot of you students, I would love to have your cameras on and see your faces and see you react to what's going on in class. So that would be great. We're happy to have you no matter how you come. I can tell you just from firsthand and being in the Tabor house, there's lots of stuff, unexpected things that happen here, and we just go with the flow. So just, you know, working from home, school from home is a whole new thing. Be sure to have your mic muted when you're not speaking. And while I'm talking, while I'm showing a video or whatever, I ask that you hold your comments, especially you're unmuting your microphone. If you have questions, you can send them in the chat privately or public. Remember, snacks are okay, but make sure they're far enough away from your computer that they're not hurting your equipment. Please just go to the bathroom if you need to. You don't need to tell us. And you'll be marked unexcused leave early if you leave the Zoom meeting early. But I do understand if there are technology issues, just email me and say, I got kicked off, it wouldn't let me back on, and I will gladly change the attendance. Here is the rubric that we will be kind of looking at. So this isn't technically an MYP class, but I like to follow the MYP rubric because it's easy to understand. Basically, you're just graded on 4 things: the knowledge and understanding that you gain throughout the semester, your developing of skills, your creative thinking, and then your response and critique as an artist. So really, those are what I'm looking at in class. Those are the most important things to focus on. And you'll get on your final project and your final reflection, you'll actually be graded with this rubric. Everything else will just be graded with a little, small points rubric. But the last 2 things will be graded with this rubric. And so these are the levels. I'm sure you all, if you have taken an MYP class, you have seen some type of a level descriptor chart so far. So the next slides are just the schedule for the semester. And this is the place where things might change. So keep a lookout and make sure you know that this is ever changing. The elements of design and the principles of design are these 2 charts here. We're going to go over them in greater detail in process journal number 2, but they're here for you to use if you need them. How to read art is something that we'll use during mindful moments. Postmodern principles is also a mindful moments thing, as well as the vocabulary of aesthetics. It's got a great resource for all kinds of different descriptive words to use for your artwork in mindful moments. Another mindful moments thing, as well as you'll be writing your own artist statement for the last project, the last process journal. Here are critique sentence starters for you to use whenever we have class critiques. And another thing we'll be using during mindful moments is this how to critique. So we're using different methods and it'll get a little bit more complex as we go. We'll also focus on the approaches to learning, which is part of the IB. We'll touch on each of the approaches to learning and tie it in with each of our process journal assignments. I will sneakily use the design cycle on you. You won't even know it. I'll just walk you right through it as we're doing each assignment. And I highlighted those and forgot to unhighlight them. And we'll also go over the IB learner profile. We'll do a focus on each one of those too. And as you can see, I told you this is a living document. I don't even have anything in here yet. So the next slides will eventually be set up so that you can have all the information for everyone as we go. So this will be changing throughout the semester. So don't save this for yourself. And then I'll also have the final project, more information in there too. So that is how you use the handbook for this course. And I'm excited to have you gain all the language and the knowledge of art that you need this semester.